Don in London, hello. It's July 18th, my video all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour, or both. My substance, alcohol, so alcoholic in recovery, and my behaviour could be trying to be with the right people in the right places, doing the right things and having the right things. So what's changed? Well, I've been in recovery for a while, some years, and all that matters is one day, to be sober one day. That's what I've learned. So that when I'm looking to be with the right people, in the right places, doing the right things and having the right things, it's not so I try to fit in with somebody else's regime particularly, or try to be what other people want me to be. I don't have to please people in the sense of giving up who I am today. So I always try to be perfect, the perfect friend, perfect lover, with a perfect girl, with the right job, with the right career, with the right car, careering along, I guess, and the right house, of course. But it doesn't matter these days. What matters is being sober, my needs met, and my wants forgotten. Or at least they're forgotten most of the time. Progress, not perfect. How did I get to this place? And why do I share about it? Well, first of all, I share about recovery simply because there is a way forward, and I was asked to do these videos quite a while ago to talk about what works for me. And family, friends, medical people, professionals all helped me stay alive long enough to find out how to get sober. And then I found a fellowship, or it found me. I'm not quite sure how it all occurred, but it wasn't my doing actually at the time. It was the help of Alcoholics Anonymous, and I'm very glad I found AA, or it found me. I never speak for Alcoholics Anonymous, can't, won't. It's full of unique, authentic people who speak about their recovery where they will, and share as they will. And many people prefer to do it under the umbrella of anonymity, which is sacrosanct, as you can guess from the fellowship title, Alcoholics Anonymous. So the anonymity bit is the opportunity to find the truth of what made us drink, or kept us drinking when it wasn't good for us, in a safe place, to say, what is the truth of me? How did I get to this awful situation of being addicted to alcohol? And then what could I do about it? So anonymity is sacrosanct. So I only speak about my recovery, and only refer to my life, and obliquely maybe about how I get experience, strength and hope from other people. So I don't talk about other people and their recovery. That is their business, not mine. But I listen to the wisdom in the rooms and meetings of AA, because what I see is what I get. What I see is what I get. It's about attraction and not promotion. And if it were promotion, I'd say AA will fix you, and it can't. We learn how to be sober one day at a time, and then life will start to work based on our real life experience. So it's not about living in cloud cuckoo land. There's no secret society. There is no way of finding a way out of this I have found on my own. My self-will ran riot in the end. No amount of willpower, no amount of standing on my own 2 feet helped me. I needed help to find a way to be sober, and it levelled me out. Didn't take away my personality, didn't take away my personality traits particularly, except one, the need to fix myself. So on a daily basis I don't fix, and I'm very glad about that. But how does AA work? I talk about it a lot because it's the many voices in recovery which make the difference. I don't lean on one person. I would drag them down if I did. So that's how it works for me, the many voices of recovery. So what is AA? I share about it, talk about it, and share the wisdom I'm learning on a daily basis. Sometimes it's wisdom for me, sometimes it's wisdom not for you. You make your mind up what is right for you. Freedom of choice on a daily basis. So this is what AA is. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem. and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. So the only requirement I needed was a desire to stop, and I must admit when I first got to AA I still didn't know whether I wanted to stop or not, because I still wanted oblivion from the horror of my life. It was horrible, my life. It was very small, not much going on inside except the torture of not drinking and desiring a drink. And now I don't feel tortured and I don't desire a drink. What a change, that it didn't happen overnight. Some people get it overnight. Thank goodness they do, because where would we be without them? And I go to meetings regularly here in London, UK, and I've had a good weekend of meetings from Saturday through to Sunday night. 3 meetings, one for people who are over 9 years sober, who share as a chairperson, but anybody from 1 day sober to 40 years sober goes to this meeting. And we always say it's the newcomer in the room who is most important. So we try to tell the truth of what is recovery, warts and all, and by sharing the truth that it is difficult to get into recovery, because addiction is probably the worst malady. Well, it's the worst one I've ever experienced, and I've had a few chronic conditions thrown my way in recovery as well. So I still believe that if I hadn't got sober I wouldn't have been around long enough to get other chronic conditions, and I'm lucky in that respect. I'm alive long enough for it to keep on working for me, no matter what seems to happen. And this seems to be the theme over the weekend, and from sharing about terrible life experiences, children through to adulthood, how hurt people hurt us, and we learned how to hurt other people as well. That's how it seemed to go. And you know, the torture that we get early in life is something we can replicate, because that's what we know. We know how we have been hurt and bullied, and then we learn how to hurt and bully other people. Or we are so overwhelmed we just seek oblivion. And I had a bit of both, really. I learned how to be a good person and a bad person, same as everybody else. And I learned how to lash out, manipulate, control, usually with words and never with my fists. But you know, the abuse mentally or emotionally is as scarring as anything else. In a funny way, I don't know what's worse. I think they're both as bad as each other. Through to how do we deal with chronic illness in recovery. And I also went to a newcomers meeting where there were lots of newcomers, and it was an absolute pleasure to be there. Listen to a friend of mine who's been sober a few years now and has a grasp of the programme which is phenomenal, and they've been in a little bit of a shorter time than me. So I'm just so impressed, and I'm always impressed by the newcomer who has actually managed to make it to a meeting and then stayed sober for a day or two, because I know what I was like. So newcomers are always welcome. You may not think it when you get there, and you may wonder what's going to happen next. Well, hopefully you'll go to another meeting and find out a little bit more about how people keep sober. And that's not to be secretive. We can only learn at the pace we can. And I was a very slow learner, difficult student, and I'm glad I was, because the harder it was for me to learn, the more it seemed to sink in and mean something. So I just didn't skim over anything. I wanted to understand what was going to save my life. So from being a very poor student, negative, and looking for the next opportunity, an excuse for a drink, through to understanding what it is to be sober, not want to drink, not even think about it most of the time. Even if I go to meetings of AA, I'm not thinking about the next drink. I'm just listening to what people are doing, because it's extremely interesting. People from all walks of life. And as it says there on that little card I was talking about, this one with the AA preamble on it, is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope of life. Life when it was horrible and full of addiction, and life without it, or what it's like just to start making progress on that journey, and how to keep sober. Well, I've learned a lot in a very short time, and I needed to understand how everything came together, and I reckon now it will take me a lifetime of listening and then listening to how other people live their lives, and then living my life and finding out what is applicable to me as well. And I also had to learn that recovery is not about, it's about unique and authentic living, freedom of choice, and each person is different, but we have this one similarity, a desire to be sober on a daily basis, and we're all affiliated to all sorts of things, but the program is there for sobriety. So we all go in with everything, and we come out with another day sober and our own living. So I share a bit about AA's Daily Reflections, which comes from, where have I put it? Sorry about that, it was down on the floor. This one, Daily Reflections, 1 page a day, all about the 12 steps and 12 traditions of AA, the 12 steps how to live well. It's not a prison, it's a way of getting your freedom back, steps to freedom and living as you wish. So, and God is talked about a lot in the fellowship, and quite rightly, because a lot of people have faith in God. I don't know where I stand on this. I'm still learning about life, and sometimes I know over my lifetime I've been an atheist, agnostic and a believer, but I do understand what a higher power is in my life, and that's what's important really. A power greater than me can restore me to sanity on a daily basis, and that is the many voices of wisdom I hear. If anything, and I'm feeling it's true, now I don't fear the word God. I don't fear it. God works through people, so if I can hear truth, love, wisdom from others, all well and good, because I can see how it will work in my life and I can put it into practice. So that's what I try to do here as well. So the AA Daily Reflection today is all about step 7, which is about having our shortcomings removed. We have defects of character and shortcoming, and some people think they're the same thing. Well, I know my defects of character, or extremes of character, which don't help me, are fear, putting on a brave face, and ego, which covers up shame and guilt. And my shortcomings, not enough faith, courage and confidence to face reality. And that's what I ran away from in the end, always trying to fix myself. So the AA Daily Reflection does have many references to God. It can be your good conscience, truth, love and wisdom, which we get from other people. But it's bigger than me, I know that. Truth, love and wisdom, the absolute truth of now, is bigger than my opinion. And a lot of what I say is based on what I know, which is opinion. So you need to take it all with a pinch of salt. What works for you is what counts. So AA Daily Reflections for today. Grateful for what I have, July 18th. During this process of learning, and that's what it is, humility to keep on learning for me. More about humility. The most profound result of all was the change in our attitude toward God. And that comes from 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. And it goes on to say, today my prayers consist mostly of saying thank you to my higher power for my sobriety and for the wonder of God's abundance, but I need also ask for help and the power to carry out His will for me. I no longer need God each minute to rescue me from the situations I get myself into by not doing His will. Not now, but now my gratitude seems to be directly linked to humility. As long as I have the humility to be grateful for what I have, God continues to provide for me. And the hard learning for me in this is, it's not about God being on my side and not on other people's side, or the good of life, or good conscience, and the wisdom of other people. I learned late in life But it wasn't about standing on my own 2 feet all the time. It was about asking for help. Humility to keep on learning how to live life. And the scrapes I got into as I went along, I always put down to bad fortune rather than careful understanding of what is my part in the world, what is my entitlement, and it's no bigger or smaller than anybody else's. And given where I live and my life experiences, I have as much good fortune as can be offered, as life is today. And life is very tough today for everyone. There is no place where it is easy. So when I look at good fortune, higher power, it's about asking for help around the things which are important and covering my needs rather than trying to fix myself or feel I will be better when my wants are covered as well. So we all have to work at it. There's no easy passage, and that's really good, because that's all I ever thought. But somehow I got bitter and twisted about it all, and drink gave me oblivion when life fell apart. So my thoughts today, which comes out of quite a lot of exchanges here and there, both on the internet and both in meetings, comes like this. The good news is the people who disturb us and rent out space in our heads are evicted sooner in recovery. And by that I mean we often find people do things which we don't like, or they hurt us in some way, and then we seem to spend an awful lot of time talking about them. So they rent out space in our heads rather than letting us get on with our life. And sometimes the pain is immense with people who we hoped would be operating for the same principles as us, which is equality, truth, love, wisdom, open, honest and willing, without an agenda which puts us down or puts us as a lesser person. And it is true, no amount of any philosophy can shift the tenant, the person who's got inside my head, until we have processed from denial to acceptance and the eviction is complete. Progress can take time, and I'm working on awkward tenants who seem to squat from time to time, which is, sometimes people come back into my mind who've hurt me, or I've let them in again and they've hurt me again in exactly the same way, by not even doing the basics of open, honest and willing, because often they just don't know who they are either. But I don't need to let them stay in there. And I've put here, usually the tenants move in when I am happy, and then for some reason they hurt me, because I trust them to behave as I do, open, honest and willing, and hope they will treat me as fairly as I do them. When they don't, accept and forgive, and the consequence is they can't come back for a while, or never. And sometimes that's the only way it can be. Sometimes, we say, let's draw a line under it and leave it be. And sometimes never. But who wants to say never? As long as we don't think we have to be right and make it so, then maybe we're okay. We're on an equal playing field. But if we have a grudge or some sort of resentment, and we haven't forgiven and accepted letting a person be, then we should say never, maybe, for the time being. I don't like to say never, but sometimes never is better. Another year, grateful for what I have, rock bottom, some time back, I woke up, no idea what time of day, a moment of clarity. Life could get no worse. If this was as bad as it could get and still be alive, no idea what to do, I picked up the phone and asked for help. And now I can do this every day. And when I asked for help, I asked a psychiatrist, what can I do? Followed by a year of torment, but at least I got the door open to letting people in. And another year, working hard, living life to the full, driven to be the best I could be. I feared not being good enough, being found out as lacking, evading guilt and shame and hiding in the bottle. Today I live with faith and courage, imperfectly perfect, open, honest and willing to change today. And I do maintain that. Sometimes when I say never, it means I'm not willing to change. But the truth is, we don't try and shut the door on people. We don't want to exclude. It's the worst thing we can do, but sometimes exclusion is necessary. Without it, we keep on getting hurt because the playing field isn't equal. Either we feel we have a right and there are no rights, or others feel they have a right when they have no rights. It's all subject to negotiation in life. So progress, not perfect, is where I come from in most of my life. And I've had a tummy upset today. Well, it started yesterday. Bad food. Yeah. Something in the fridge too long on Saturday night. We live and learn, don't we? So emotional and spiritual well-being, the programme gives me. I still need to watch out what I eat and how I deal with my other conditions. Yeah, I learn. I'm just human. When I'm in torment about something, or when people are renting out space in my head, I need to work out what I can and cannot do. What I can do is change my attitude and behaviour, do something different. What I can't do is change the rest of the world. That's their job. So I have the freedom to change and improve my attitude and behaviour around situations where it's not about controlling people or me being controlled by them. It's the worst place to be. And I know I said recently to somebody a few weeks ago, fuck off and mind your own business. I now realise I should have said, I need to fuck off and mind my own business. After all, the 12 steps are to help me with my attitudes and behaviour, not about other people's attitudes and behaviour. But I need to listen to the world to improve on my attitude and behaviour. So the serenity prayer, which I share at the end of these videos about can do, can't do, and wisdom to learn the difference, is essential at any time of day to put me back into perspective of what I can and cannot do. So to God, or in good conscience, or an understanding of a higher power which works, the wisdom of the world, informs me more than anything. So to God, or in good conscience, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things. Did I say that right? I'm going to say it again. God, grant me the courage. No, God. Here we go. Shows I am upset inside somehow. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, other people, places and things. Courage to change the things I can, me and my attitudes. And the wisdom to know the difference is always in the moment and just for today.